Welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul 70stastic, and it looks like the whole internet wants me to talk about that video from 10 years ago, so here we go. Now, it's a quick recap. I was driving about 10 years ago in Mustang I just bought, cruising down the interstate, and then I passed out and woke up in a cornfield. So there you go, that's it. So I'm guessing you want more details than that. So here we go. So I was cruising down the interstate, my Ford Mustang, literally just bought the car a couple days before, and I was cruising around having fun with it. And just the day before, I'd taken it all the way over to Lincoln and cruised. And then I took it to work. I was like, oh, I'll drive it to work. First time I've driven it to work. Super nice car. So I drove it to work, and I wasn't feeling good that day. I didn't know quite what to make of it. And I'd never passed out before, so I didn't know what that felt like. So I was cruising down the road. Next thing I know, that happens. Wake up right in the middle of a cornfield. Poor car, beat the crap out of the poor thing. And it turns out, so the symptoms I had with orthostatic hypotension is a technical medical term for it. Your blood pressure just drops randomly. Usually it happens on people when you get up super fast, you start getting dizzy. And I always had that. I thought that was normal because I heard everyone had that, but apparently not. So as unfortunate as that was, it did kind of beat the crap out of my car and nuked my finances with medical bills, not to mention repairing the car myself, but more on that in a minute. So what happened, I was driving down the interstate. All of a sudden I started feeling kind of dizzy and nauseous, which I'm used to nausea, but started feeling nauseous, got tunnel vision, my ears started ringing. I didn't even know what was happening. I never had that particular experience before, so I didn't know what to make of it. And I thought, well, there's a rest area here, but work is just a mile away. I'll just cruise on to work. I didn't make it that far. Unfortunately, I passed out. Now, the car ended up driving itself for quite a bit there. I'd turned the cruise off, and you can see me mashing that cruise off button, which is a lower left button on Fords like this. But even though I turned the cruise off and was coasting to a stop, because I could tell something was wrong and I could tell I really need to get off the road, but I didn't know what was happening, so I didn't do it with the urgency I probably should have. But regardless, yeah, the car went off the road. My whole body pitched forward, absolutely mashed the gas pedal, so the poor car was bouncing off the rev limiter like crazy. But the engine survived, the car survived. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, because I can't imagine what would have happened if somebody had gotten hurt. Like, I don't care what happens to myself that much, but innocent people don't deserve to have crap like that happen to them. So thankfully, no one was hurt. The car kind of pitched itself back and forth. From what I understand, because of the angle of the interstate there, the car kind of steered itself back because that's just what it was going to do with that much angle. And the fact the steering had no input on it from me because I was out. Regardless, I ended up waking up in the cornfield, mashed the brake pedal the second I saw what was happening, and then I had no idea where I was or what had just happened. It was like waking up from a sleep, except it wasn't a sleep because my head hurt like hell and I could barely walk because I sat there, and you can see in the video, I was trying to walk around. Yeah, I could barely even hold myself up on the car. I was kind of propping myself up in the car trying to walk around. Either way, I got back in the car. Thankfully, a bystander stopped. I was in no shape to talk to anyone or call, so he called 911. They took me by ambulance to the hospital. They got me checked out. Of course, the sheriff's department showed up and they looked at the whole thing, but they could tell right on site that I was definitely having some health problems. So, of course, they still ran the toxicology reports of the hospital to double check that I wasn't drinking and driving or something, but no, it was heart-related issue. So orthostatic hypotension, technically your blood pressure just drops. And I've got a particularly bad case. I know guys with worse of it, but Thankfully, mine was treatable. And treat they did. I ended up going to a doctor, spent an inordinate amount of money to make sure it was right. So I got all kinds of tests and optional tests done because I wanted to make sure. And the doctor determined orthostatic hypotension, prescribed me some medication, midodrine 5 milligrams, and it's commonly used for that purpose. And the doctor actually was surprised because he watched the video, because I didn't even know what to make of it. So I showed him the video, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your skin turns this color, which is indicating like your blood pressure doing this or that." And I didn't know what to make of it. I just know it was kind of a good video, but it was also horrible because it happened to me and I didn't remember it happening. Either way, I went, got figured out, got my health back to where it needed to be, and I waited until the doctor cleared me to drive, and even then I still had to wait. So that happened April 2nd, 2015, and I couldn't drive until July 2nd, 2015. So I waited out that full time. I was legally cleared to drive by the doctors. They said, yeah, with this treatment and all that, you're good to drive by May. But unfortunately, the law still says 90 days, so I had to wait it out. Granted, that was all 10 years ago now, but yeah, I still, to this day, I thankfully have not had an issue where I passed out, and I've actually never passed out since then, but it's still in the back of my head to remember what the symptoms are, and if I have any of those symptoms, pull off the road. And if you have symptoms like that while you're driving, and you've never passed out before, you don't know what it feels like, and now you know the symptoms, yeah, pull off the road. You don't want to have what happened to me happen. So what became of the Mustang? Well, I ended up, I was heartbroken the Mustang got wrecked because I only had a couple pictures of it from when it was all beautiful, and I had just bought it and was excited. Oh, my first Mustang. I was so happy. And then I was very crestfallen because it was totaled out. Now, if you know insurance companies, you know it doesn't take much to total out a car. And the Mustang actually wasn't in all that bad a shape. It just needed a full repaint, front bumper, technically a hood, but I repaired that, and fenders. And actually, yeah, I fully restored the car myself, 100%. I was gonna get it done, and I costed it out, priced it, and it was like, I could do it for myself for that, and I did. So, learned how to paint, painted it myself, learned how to straighten out metal to the degree I did, straighten the metal out, fitted brand new fenders from late model restoration on it, rebuilt the original hood, so took all the damage off that original hood, and I did 100% of that myself. And I restored the interior too and everything else, convertible top, just to make it a nice, perfect car. And I still cruise around in it to this day, still have it, still enjoy it, and it still looks like a brand new car. But yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Thankfully, I got medically cleared out and back to where I should be. And yeah, it's 10 years on. And I'm sure there's other questions too, like, well, why is the camera there? Well, if you must know, the actual reason why I started putting a camera on my shoulder in the car, mounted to like the seat headrest frame on either side, depending on which car I've got, I actually did it because of Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, all the way back in the day, I used to love to play Grand Theft Auto 4, and one of the cinematic angles is the shoulder cam. And I thought it was cool in game because you can see the interior of the car, you can see Nico or whoever you're playing as in GTA 4 steering and doing goober stuff behind the wheel. And I thought that was cool as heck, and I wanted to have that for myself. So all the way back 2013, I actually put camcorders back in the day. I put full-on camcorders on the side of my seat. And around 2015, I switched to using action cams. Is what they called them back in the day. I couldn't afford GoPros back then, so I got the cheap knockoff ones, but the Ion Air Pro I used back in the day actually was a pretty good camera, and for a 10-year-old video, it looks surprisingly decent, considering it's a really low bitrate 1080, but the fact that the interior of the car doesn't move and everything is all fixed, and you got a small portion of the window that's actually moving, it allows the camera to act like it's a little better because it's not using up all the bit rate for all the movement. But yeah, so the whole reason I put cameras there was Grand Theft Auto 4. And actually, when you get down to it, I've done a lot of camera work like that. Like Driver 3 had the wheel cam, and I've done that for years. I'd like to do the supercharger cam from like Mad Max, but I don't happen to have a car with a supercharger yet. But one of these days. My goal is to do third person, like the camera actually behind the car, so you see the whole car and everything ahead of you, but I'm not there yet. One of these days, and hopefully in the Mustang, because that'd look cool as heck. But yeah, that's what happened with the Mustang. Thankfully, everything's good now. Say I've worked a solid 10 years, driven myself to work every day for solid 10 years, never had an issue, never passed out. I consider that a medical success, because a lot of times you don't get 100% out of medical stuff today, but back in the day I had a good doctor. The guy helped me out and got me set up with what I need. So yeah, if you're going down the road, make sure you're safe. But on that note, I think I'm going to go for a cruise.